Steve, that feels like a bit of a body blow today.
Yeah, massive blow, to be honest. I think it was always going to be a really tired game. Obviously, it's the third game of a 3-game week. Both teams playing on Wednesday, quick turnaround. I think a lot of fatigue really in both teams. Hot day, one that we weren't really expecting. They'd say the same. So I think the game was going to be judged on particular moments. And you see what we went 1-0 up and through a set piece. Great timing, obviously, just before half time, and then it was a matter of just trying to keep going. We didn't try and change too much. There was some tactical things we had to do in terms of how they played down the sides, but we knew that there was, like I said, there was a lot of tiredness in the team, and we had to make changes, and we did that, and I know Brentford had a lot of the ball. They're at home, but we felt comfortable. I didn't see us conceding. Set pieces, you do worry about them because they're so strong off them, but we managed them, ultimately really well, apart from obviously the free kick that will go down as a set piece. But I didn't see them creating loads of real clear-cut chances, and because of that, a little bit like the other night, I felt like we would be good in our low block and we could maybe get a breakaway or two, and we did. We just let ourselves down with the final pass and not making the most of it. But then obviously the 2 goals and the decision making we've made around it has cost us.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on the radio actually, Steve. That second half, when you did get those opportunities to break, a second goal would have been crucial, wouldn't it, in this? But you didn't seem to be able to keep the ball well enough going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think that was down to decision making and fatigue. And we tried to freshen up the team. We wanted to go with a fairly similar team because of momentum. But we knew that like they made a lot of changes, we'd have to make changes as well. We tried to freshen up in the right place. There was a bit of a call about whether some guys play again, but we decided to go with it through momentum and confidence from the other night. And it was difficult not to do that, but we did know that, and you could see it in some players' performances that they were just generally sort of really fighting to get going in the game physically. So, it's one of them things where you want to see the game out, and I repeat, Brentford had a load of the ball, but I really thought we were on the sort of the way to making a clean sheet today.
You had to take Taiwo Awoniyi off, for instance. Is that an example of it? He came off fairly early second half, didn't he?
Yeah, no, and like I said, he hasn't. If you think about it, he's out for a long time, and put him straight back in the team. He's been good. We're happy with him. But then, physically, it's a massive shift for him this week, doing 3 games in quick succession, and particularly this one being only 2 days. You can sort of, as much as he gives in terms of effort, you could see that at times he was fighting to keep up physically, and that was the case with 1 or 2 others as well.
So you concede the free kick and it's 1-1, and at that point you must be thinking, well, we don't lose the game. Do not lose this game from here. But obviously, what happened.
Well, Danilo, for not the first time, we have to finish the game with 10 men. So he may have picked up an injury. We kept Danilo on because he was one of the guys that is really, really fit and athletically, can keep going. So. Just as our luck sometimes is, he's the one that sort of comes off and we're having to defend with 10 men and seeing it out. And you're right, after making 1-1, probably accepting that maybe a point will do, but obviously that wasn't the case.
Danilo looked like a hamstring?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. We'll have to see next couple of days.
I mean, it's such bad luck, isn't it, for you from injuries? And I know you don't make excuses about it, but clearly it's had an impact today, just after you've made your final substitution.
Well, today has, we were slightly worried about Musa, obviously because of what's happened with him in previous games, but he assured us that he was all right, and he was. And then once you make that change for somebody else to go down and get injured, and yet once again we have to finish with 10 men, it's tough on us.
How do you pick them up from here, Steve? Because it does fit, as we said at the start, this feels like a big blow. Yeah,
well, we got no choice of accepting it. And like I said, you looked at the team this week and you haven't seen any lack of spirit, you haven't seen any lack of togetherness, you haven't seen any lack of goodwill, and that's the same in the dressing room even now, as disappointed as what we are. So it's important to keep that, and we will, and just take it now into the Southampton game, which feels like an age away. But that's what we've got to do.
Is it good that it feels like an age away?
No,
I'd
rather play tomorrow if everybody was fit and fresh, which obviously they won't. But you take the schedule as it comes, you take the games as they come. There's going to be a lot of games played from now until that Monday night. But we need to be ready for it, and it was always going to be a big game anyway. We've just got to do our very best to make sure we're ready.
I know it didn't go the way he'd have wanted today, but one positive is the return of Ryan Yates.
Yeah, of course. We need everybody available, and if Danilo has picked up an injury, then even more important, the likes of him and Cheku are back available. So, we obviously like them two players, and we need players back from injury, and got them on the pitch today. I know Cheku came on the other night as well, and we're going to need everybody.
Thanks for your time, Steve.